And what do they think of like tourists coming here just to smoke weed?
Alexander's army settled here in these mountains.
That's the controversy.
So recently I returned to Malana, the world's most famous hash village and claimed to be the oldest democracy on earth. 3 years ago we made a documentary about Malana, exploring the history and strange customs like locals not being allowed to touch foreigners, and only the women being allowed to work while men count their cash and smoke hash.
Women do all the work here. Women count their cash, then only count the cash.
My goal with this documentary is to create the most honest exploration of Malana. We explore how this village has evolved, and dismantling certain myths that have been spread by the Western world, expressed by some of the locals themselves. What we learnt completely shocked us. Watch until the end of the documentary and learn the untold truth about this unique hash village. And of course, like and subscribe if you enjoy genuine explorations of cultures around the world. We've just arrived at the base of Malana 3 years later. It's definitely gotten a lot more popular, or so I've heard. But what do you think? Because I feel like you're one of like I don't know about the first person to film it, but at least one of the first popular videos on Malana.
I have mixed feelings about it because I feel like, in a way, it's nice to film this stuff because it's inevitable as the modern world reaches its claws into the depths of these rural places that it's going to change. There's going to be a loss of culture as they mix with the modern world, as they get Wi-Fi, as they get TV signals. As tourists come, you lose the culture. The younger generation particularly begins to see how life is outside of the village. In a way, it's beautiful that I was able to like document the culture, but also sad that it's disappearing.
You think that's inevitable? Like someone would have came?
Yeah, of course it's inevitable. See when we get up here, how much trash is here.
Yeah.
Plastic, Lay's chips, Mountain Dew bottles. It's just like, fuck, man. Like, these people were so simple before foreigners started coming. And it's not just Westerners, it's Indians coming here also. It's a double-edged sword. What can you do, you know? The claws of the modern world are going to grasp this place eventually. And you know, like, it's the younger people, because they don't, why would you want to carry on the old traditions when you see like people with cell phones and, you know, just the glitz and glam of the outside world when you live in a place like this? I mean, it's like us, the opposite. We come here because it's something different. You're always attracted to something different.
It's a cultural
Yeah,
thing.
It's always greener. The grass is always greener somewhere else.
I know, it's complicated. It is, because I know what you're saying, like there's like the younger generation, and I feel like that old tradition we're losing that over time. And the reason why I go, it's not, like I don't even smoke weed anymore, and yet I'm going to this hash village. Last time I did, but it wasn't because of that. Like I like to explore these old traditions, and you know, they claim to be the oldest democracy in the world, and to be descendants of Alexander the Great, and the way they treat foreigners, like you can't even pass them money, you gotta like put it on the ground, and seeing people live in a completely different way. But then what you're saying is that a lot of people are coming here not because of that. It's just like, oh, there's hash, there's like all this weed to smoke, like yeah dude, and then just throwing trash and playing psytrance music and kind of ruining the culture over time. And it's like in the last documentary I made, remember when they started talking about how even they're starting to lose the tradition, you know what I mean? And it's happening all over the world. I feel like that's like a universal narrative. We're like letting go of the old, you know? It's like a paradox. It's not to cling on to old traditions, but you gotta like reserve it and then transcend it, mix it with the new, not just completely throw it away. What do we do?
They want tourists to come because it's how they make their living, you know? They make their living through tourists coming, and they look at it as a blessing and a curse. They will say that.
Foreigner coming, full enjoys Cholomuna.
Take you what the you can tang tang what chuku balai what देखिए ऐसा ना वो मरता ना तब गाँव वाला को फंसता है ना देखो बोलता है यहाँ गाँव में मर गया क्या क्या बोलता है जहाँ का मरता है बोलता मुलाना में मर गया.
I don't know, because I'm conflicted too. It's like, do we just ignore it, not make videos at all because we're giving more popularity? But then how many vloggers are coming here anyway, but not talking about at least what we're talking about? Like kind of like, because I feel bad in a way, but at the same time I feel like it's important.
It's going to be inevitable. You might as well do it and spread positive.
Yeah.
Or the real side of things.
Exactly.
You know?
100%. Not just show the positive, like, yeah, come here, weed, Milana cream, fucking all this kind of stuff.
It's the
like,
people.
I think the
It's both,
idea of
man.
whether or not it's right or wrong, we've already crossed that bridge, so it's time to approach the next one.
That's the thing, like
There's
Pandora.
no going
Yeah.
back. You got to keep going forward.
Pandora's box
Pandora's
is
box
open.
has already been opened.
The
Yeah.
cat's out of the bag,
Yeah.
and it's like you can't. Like, what do you do? We're here to learn. We're just giving. We're giving our predictions. See how we go, mate. Should be right. Right over there's Milana. This is Milana cream.
This is Milana cream. No,
So this is the best.
this first rub. First rub.
Okay, we'll talk to our friend because he might want. I don't smoke.
Smoking nahi, but my friend's smoking.
Italian Angrez dish gem. Kami super cream. 50 rupee give me am.
For us, it was also a very big learning experience to see from which area the best cream or best chars come. What we really saw is that the higher you get, the higher the quality of the cream gets, and also the more indica the plant gets.
Kind of homie here.
Whoa.
Ooh.
That's a lot.
And like, how do you smoke this? Like how? Do you mix with tobacco or paper, pipe?
Money?
How much?
3,000.
Okay.
This Milana temple.
All peoples are making the rishi sevas na, so you don't touch in another person's.
Yeah. Good. No mushkil. No mushkil.
Please sister, don't touch na.
Okay. Can I step here?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. Do you like tourists coming here, or do you think it's ruining? You do?
Like
Does everybody, or does some people not
everybody.
like? Really?
Yeah.
Why? Because it gives business and
Yeah.
grows economy.
Business and tourism area and developing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does it make you feel sad?
No. It's not making feel sad. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eh,
The
better
local
they way
peoples
at the
are-
cool
Yeah. So I can't touch in another.
You're not allowed to touch water.
No. There's a temple area. Don't touch me.
No fist bumping.
No. Not in this side, but other side I touch in everybody.
Oh yeah.
Only temple not touching.
Because you believe that your descendants.
Please
of-
don't touch in here. So
Not touching.
पर जाओ बोलो भाई इसको.
I'm not touching.
please, hey bro, please come. नीचे चलो. Let's move.
He's getting awfully close to the line.
जा बोल भाई.
Is this you on your shirt?
Yeah.
Yeah bro.
Nice.
Kasol.
Good photo.
Kasol.
Yeah, nice.
Going to Kasol?
Yeah. We're staying there.
Yeah.
Can I take a photo of you? I send you picture, and then you wear a photo of you with a picture.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So you don't believe that you're descendants? Or,
Yeah.
Like you believe or you don't believe that you come from the Greeks?
I can't believe, bro.
You can't? Okay. Fair enough. So this is mixed. Some people believe, some people don't believe.
Yeah. We follow Hindu cultures. Yeah. Mahadev is Rishi is Jamdagni Rishis. 3,000 years maybe.
3,000 years, wow. Before Jesus?
Yeah. Before Jesus.
Yeah. As our friend Ramazan would say. Was it Galeno who came and teach you to roll?
Yeah, you come with me
Yeah.
in my cafes. I explain with.
Okay.
We have a person.
Yeah. Where's your cafe?
Yeah. Ayoya Shiva Cafe.
Okay.
Nearby this side.
Okay, so we eat first and then, thank you, brother.
We can touch and smoke with.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. It's like, this is where you people stay.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Actually.
That's cool, man. Every culture has their quirks, their belief systems. What they consider normal, we consider weird, and what we consider normal, they consider weird.
Because like for me, I made this video 4 years ago, and like in my head it was so brainless. It was like, oh, new culture, how cool, come here, film. They're weird, they don't touch people. Do you think it's a good thing for us to bring tourists here and sort of almost in a way destroy their culture? I feel like. Do you feel that?
Your basic point is that the culture, the democracy, what these guys are having.
I feel like it's ruined a little bit by us coming here and making videos, because we bring people here and it kind of destroys their way of life.
No. It's not the thing that they are destroying their life. It's the matter of choice.
Yeah.
So they.
But do
they
you think
believe
they have a choice?
They do have a choice, obviously.
You think?
Yeah, 100% they do have a choice.
You don't think it's inevitable that people are going to come here and they're just going to be introduced to the outside world naturally? You think it's their choice?
I'm pretty much sure that you are having 4G internet connection over here. So when the internet is here, they are already connected with all around the world.
Yeah,
not just here the cities like Delhi, Mumbai. It's all around the world. They can see whatever. What is the democracy? They knew it because this is the oldest democracy of the world. So they know far better than what we think about the democracy. Yeah, that's a huge concern. Even everybody feels like that should be more clean. The trash is mostly we put here. So it's our responsibility too that we take it back.
But like because of tourism, it brings things like Coca-Cola. You think that would be here anyway?
No, yeah, definitely. Because of the tourists, they are having that, and even you have seen the Red Bull. They don't know about it. No? That's a caffeine drink. The main reason behind it is the tourist wants it. They somehow adapted it because of the demand.
How do they feel about tourism? Is it mixed? Do some not like tourists coming, or are they happy about it?
Previously, I don't think they were totally disconnected from the world now. So they had their own...
How many years do you think it's been? 10?
No, not 10. This is the oldest democracy of the world.
But I mean, how before they were connected to the outside world, how long do you think they were left alone? When do you think people started coming here?
Okay, for the tourism purpose. It's mostly when the British came in our country.
Oh, so that's a long time.
Yeah, it's approximately, I guess,
60?
More than 100 years, man.
People have been coming here.
Yeah.
What are there any like plans on, let's say, cleaning up the rubbish, the trash, and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah. Because of the government's movement, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. So that is the clean all across the India.
Okay.
So it has started, but it will take time to adopt it. Because previously there were not too much tourists, but recently, especially when the 4G connection came, I think more than 500% the tourist has increased here. So if the tourist will come in a larger group, so they'll definitely bring the trash. This is such a small town, you know. They have their limited resources.
Are tourists coming here and throwing trash as well?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah?
100%. It's our responsibility too that whatever trash we are having, we should take it back with their own self.
Yeah, of course.
100%.
That's what we do.
So this is what we can contribute to this village. Why they do not allow anybody to touch them. In Sanatan Dharma, we think that our body carries the energy, spiritual energy, the you can call it God's energy. So if you will touch someone, our energy will flow into another direction. So I think this is the reason they don't want to touch to anybody else. Even Sadhguru once said it.
You don't think it's because of the caste system?
No, because not because of the caste system. No, it's not like that. If you'll think about the democracy, think about it, man. It was the oldest democracy. So in democracy, casteism is not that much, a bigger issue.
And how is it the oldest democracy if we're in India? Democracy originates from the Western world.
No, not at all. Have you heard about the Vishnugupta Chanakya? Acharya Chanakya has written the Arthashastra. That was 2500 years old literature, which is actually available in the original format. So Arthashastra was the oldest democratical system which was documented.
Wow.
So we had in 2500 years back.
But the Greeks would have been before that.
Whom you are talking about? Greeks, like?
There's the Greek civilization in general. Because even here in Malana, some believe that the democracy here comes from when the Greeks settled here from Alexander's army when they were conquering the world.
Nah, man, look at that. When the Alexander came here, so that was the matter of Hydas Pass. Okay, there was a Hydas river which is called in Hindi Sindhu Nadi. Okay, so in the Hydas Pass, Porus and Alexander fought. We believe that Alexander, he did not win, he did not came here. Chanakya and Alexander was quietly into the same era. So we have that documented, that we have the Arthashastra. The Arthashastra means democracy, is a Sanskrit word. We found that it was the oldest democracy here. But democracy has to be evolved into the time zone, So I think it has started from here and it has evolved in all across the world.
But wouldn't you think that a democracy would spread more in a place like Greece, where all these countries are migrating to, opposed to a remote village in the mountains?
Actually, Greek has their own history.
Yeah.
And we have our own history.
But
so
here
if
in
you
the village, there's legends that the Greeks settled here. You've read this, now?
Who settled here? In Himachal Pradesh.
Yeah. Have you read this? Like the Alexander's army settled here in these mountains.
That's the controversy.
But you've heard this legend before.
Yeah,
now?
I have. I heard it because of the internet, because of we called it a Western idea. But the thing is that it is controversial that whether he has won that war with the Porus or not in the Hydas Pass. So it's the controversial matter. We claim something different.
About it?
Pardon?
Are you from Malana?
No, I am not from Malana, but I love this place.
Where are you from?
I am from Jaipur, Rajasthan.
Oh, from Jaipur. The villagers don't believe it.
None of them consider themselves
Greek or something like
But they were different.
No.
So where does this idea come from?
So it's the Western idea. Okay.
So from the British?
100% from the British. Mostly the things in India, history was...
Because the British wants to destroy the culture.
100%. Even the Macaulay, the Lord Macaulay, he has destroyed our Gurukul system, the oldest education system of the world.
Like a Gurukul would be like a monastery.
Yeah, it is some form of the monastery. Yeah.
Why do they look a little different? They don't look Indian here.
They don't look Indian here. So what do you consider the Indian color? Like, how can you differentiate that they are not looking like Indians? They are looking like something else.
Do you agree?
No, 100%. Even they look like absolutely Indian.
With blue eyes.
Even
But you think Indians typically look like you?
that's the thing. That was my first question. What do you think the Indian skin color is?
Well, when you go throughout...
Brownish, like me?
Yeah, when you go throughout India.
Yeah.
Besides here in the mountains, from, Himachal down.
From other places in the mountains as well. Not just Malana.
No, not just Malana. I know, like up in Kashmir.
Right.
Yeah.
So they are fair people with.
Even in Haryana, do you think in Haryana, there is the 60-70% the skin color is the same that this villagers
But
person
that comes
has.
from mixing with the British, or that is natural here, you think?
100% it was not natural because of the climate. It was not the British. Okay, because of the climate, where we are sitting in the mountains. In the mountains, our RBC level goes up. So definitely we'll look more fair than anything else. So this is because of the climate, not because of the any person, because of the any influence. 100% not. That is completely biological. It's completely the climate matter. Even if you'll go to the South India, what do you think why the skin color is dark? South India zone, you'll find more temperature than any other parts of in our country. So it's all about the temperature. If you look anybody who is living in the mountain, definitely their skin color will be. Even I'll look far more, fair if I'll stay here for 1 or 2 years. So it's the biological matter. So they are saying that they got the skin color because of the Alexander. That is, I don't think that is right, and that what happened. I don't think so.
सबका अलग अलग राज्य दे दिया था, तो ऐसा कुछ नहीं, हम सब एक ही हैं.
So he was saying that this village belongs from the Jamdagni Rishi, sage.
Which is who the temples are dedicated to.
Yeah, the 2 temples.
Yeah, like the meditating man.
Yeah, nobody can touch those temples strictly.
And they're doing puja, normal Hindu rituals.
100%.
That's just their guru, their lineage.
We all Indian has the same rituals.
I feel like a much friendlier vibe this time around. I think Dakota's right and they are more accepting of tourisms.
They have no choice but to be.
Tourisms, good grammar there. But I feel a lot more like comfortable this time around. The first time I was like a little bit scared to like go close and take photos and stuff. But that could have been my own projection as well. So bit of column A, bit of column B.
Jamdagni Rishi, who is one of the Saptarishis in like all of Hinduism, who created everything, and since they are descendants of that Rishi, they consider themselves pure, and that's why they don't touch outsiders as well. That is one of the reasons. And since they consider themselves those descendants, you can't really say that they've come from outside, from Greece or some other place, because they are claiming that they've been here since the beginning of time. Like they are the people from the roots of this land. The reason they look like that is because there are
up in the mountains.
Yeah, in the mountains and other places in India as well. There are people that look in all sorts of different ways. If you go to the coastal regions as well, in Maharashtra, you'll see people who are fair with blue eyes, green eyes, things like that.
True. Like different climate, different diet,
Right.
different ways of living.
The entire the Indian subcontinent is very diverse in general. They do look a little different. They have some different features, but if you compare them with the people of the Valley of Kullu, they are quite similar as well. It's just that they have their own language, their own culture, and because they've been, they're so deep inside the mountain over here, they've been alienated for a very long time, and they've just started interacting with the world. So a lot of their things differentiate from the rest of the people in the mountains, and that's why I think there's a difference, and there are lots of myths about these people. Because people in the past would only speak of them. There was only stories about these people. No one would really be able to reach here before the roads came up and things like that. It was very rare for someone to reach here. It's like once in a lifetime sort of thing if you come here.
What is the difference between Malana and the other villages in the area?
All villages around here, they have their own god. They have their own they have their own rituals, their own culture. Different things about them, different stories about the land, about their gods. In all those stories and all those gods, they have interactions with each other. They are related to each other. So in that, this Jamdagni Rishi who was here, he is someone who is considered very important.
In other villages, do they worship him also?
Yeah. So these gods that are there in the different villages, they basically go around every year. Visiting different other gods in other villages. But this Jamdagni Rishi, because he is, like a supreme deity, lots of other gods come here, they visit him, there are ceremonies here, there are festivals here. Almost every month you'll have some kind of festival here related to the Rishi in the temple. One of the temples here, a small temple that's there, they consider, like all the Hindus here consider that about 9 crore is like 900 million gods live in that temple. Because that exists over here, they don't want any outsiders coming here and touching it or maybe contaminating it, making it impure, and that's why they keep it so secret. Like what's in that temple, like no one knows. I've been living here since 8 years, 10 years, but I don't know anything about what happens there, what goes on in the temple. But there are certain rituals that happen every year.
Doing animal sacrifice and these types of rituals, no?
They do sacrifice goats, that's there. But that's around all of Himachal, it's not just Malana. You'll see it in lots of different places in Himachal. They are maintaining the culture, but at the same time they do get influenced by the outside culture, especially with the music, the movies, the things they see online.
Social media.
Because of that, but like as far as I can see, when they're in the village, in this area, they do follow all the rules. They are still, holding on to the culture, and they're quite conscious and aware about the things outside, but they still respect and follow what's going on over here.
Or what would you like to request of tourists who come here? Like, is there anything that maybe we shouldn't do that we come? Like, we just come in, throw rubbish or whatever?
Don't come here and be destructive towards the land, be respectful. Don't think this is like the city, that you can just come here, do anything, and things are taken care of. Like, there are systems in place. Don't take those things for granted. Like, there are lots of systems that you have in the city where there are garbage disposal systems, people picking up the waste, people putting it in the bins, recycling it or whatever, segregating it, having a dump somewhere. All these things, these people do not have it here. They've never, encountered such waste that doesn't decompose. And because they are used to, having waste that isn't decomposed, they're always used to throwing whatever's there on the ground, and it just goes, it just vanishes. And now that there's plastic here and all these things, which we cannot really stop, it's going to come in anyways. Even if tourists don't come in here, these people are still going to consume Coca-Cola, the Red Bull. Like, I would say the Red Bull consumption of this village is probably the highest in the entire state, the amount they consume, like, per capita. So all these things, there will be trash. So when tourists come in, they should educate the villagers on having dustbins, having these kind of systems, interact with the villagers in such a way that they help the villagers set up such systems here where, the waste is disposed in a proper manner, it's sent somewhere down, and it's just not thrown everywhere. Educate the villagers as well, along with, coming here and having a good time.
How does he see Malana in 10 years from now? Bigger, the same?
Why advance already?
I think they'll change quite a bit. They've already gotten quite advanced, and they will advance very fast, very quickly through technology.
And the village is proud of this, or does it make them sad to lose their traditional way?
No, actually the villagers are quite definite in their way of life, and that's why they have their own rules. So because when they were sad about the tourists, or they were having some trouble with the tourists, they just shut all the guest houses in the village, and they asked us to open places outside the village, outside the boundary of the village, where tourists can come. Yeah, this is like outside the main village. Even though like all of this is Malana, like all the mountains here around here, and if you walk for 5 days down the valley, it's all Malana. It's a very vast valley. So if the villagers have any problems, they'll just make that rule and to protect themselves, and there is no one any outsider who can come in here and dictate their terms or overpower them with money or capitalism.
And what do they think of like tourists coming here just to smoke weed?
Some of them, they really do love it because it's a lot of money that comes in.
Okay.
But there are a lot of villagers that are unhappy about that. They would rather that tourists come in here and go explore this valley, explore the land, learn about the different things in the nature here, which people are forgetting now because they're drifting into this this income stream of just selling hash and
it's just weed.
Yeah, in the past they used to have all these we call them jadi booty, like herbal plants in the mountains, like jangli lasan, nak chhatri. So they used to go there, harvest these things and sell them down, or make medicines of this jadi booty over here. But now, since people are just doing these things, all this knowledge is just being forgotten over here. We want people to come in here, go on the treks, go out there, camp out there, live with them, really learn about how they live, how they work, how they survive over here. Because to think it's easy and it's always pleasant around here, it's not. That's not how it is. If it's really when you live with them for a long period of time, that's when you learn about how difficult their life really is. Even like making this hash, making the cream, or even collecting the jadi booty, or being a shepherd around here, taking your cattle around here. All these things it's all very, very difficult. Like, it's an extreme lifestyle.
Yeah, it's a lot of work,
Yeah, so if people came in here and really experience that, these people themselves would develop a lot, as a person. After having that experience, they would also be more respectful towards the villagers, the mountain, the people here, the nature around here, and it would be a win-win for everyone if that happens.
Thank you for sharing, brother. I think this is like basically the reason why we're even making this documentary, just to share
Right.
Like
Yeah,
your guys'
I know.
perspective, you know, not just
Exactly.
coming here like, yeah, let's smoke weed
I
and
know, yeah,
you know what I
I
mean?
really respect that as well.
Yeah.
That you guys are here, you know, sharing the perspective of the world, of the village, of the villagers, the people here, the people that are living here, and you know what they feel about all these tourists coming in, what they're doing, and how you do a very good job in educating, you know, the general public on what to expect here and how they should behave when they're here, which is
Yeah,
right,
spreading
excellent.
awareness.
So thank you for that.
No worries. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Doesn't matter how much you learn, there's always more to uncover. Many of the myths that we ourselves spread could end up being false, like Malana being descendants of Alexander the Great. Perhaps this is why they follow a branch of Hinduism instead of an ancient Greek religion. Whether or not they are the oldest democracy on earth is debatable, and I'm not here to answer that for you. There is no one perspective that encapsulates an entire village or society. But it seems that many of the locals of Malana would prefer that tourists engage with their culture instead of bringing rubbish and sensationalizing only the weed smoking. Even though buying hash definitely helps with the economy, there's so much more depth to explore, which I'm sure the locals would appreciate. Perhaps one day I'll return and get an even deeper look at Malana's culture. But until then, thanks for watching, and subscribe for more quality videos, and consider becoming a patron for exclusive content. Much love, and I'll catch you next time.